Hey, thanks for checking out the Illini Inquirer YouTube channel. If you can do us a favor, continue your support. Give us a follow here on YouTube. Hit the notifications button, hit the subscribe button. That really helps us out. We're hoping to give you more content on our video channel here, whether it's player interviews, reactions, our daily dish series where we're going to be more topical and talk about the Illini. So give us some support. We appreciate all of it. Give us a follow, hit the notifications bell as well, and subscribe to us here on Illini Inquirer YouTube. Welcome into the Daily Dish, Jeremy Werner, Derek Piper, and we've talked all about the transfer additions from Illinois. We also got to talk about a big one going out, Derek, that doesn't have a huge impact on Illinois, given who they have coming in with Matthew Meyer, Terrence Shannon, and all the talents Illinois has accrued via the prep route, including Ty Rodgers, who just won a gold medal with Team USA. But Illinois lost a very good wing in Jacob Grandison, and boy, he had a lot of great options, and he commits to Duke. Final Four team, new coach in John Shire, and a bunch of five-star prospects, 3 of the top 4 prospects in the country going to Duke. Kudos to Jacob Grandison here, Derek Piper, but also seemingly a good fit for Duke. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it says a lot about Jake as a guy that can be a veteran role player. And you know that Duke each and every year is going to bring in a star-studded 5-star caliber class. And they don't always have those veterans that stick around long-term. And to bring in somebody that's 24 years old and I find him very egoless offensively, doesn't need a certain number of shots, is going to make the right play with his passes and can be a spot-up shooter for some of those other studs that are going to attract all that attention. So a guy that can just be an older piece for them. And I know we've talked about his game in terms of, I think he's limited athletically. I think defensively he can be exploited a little bit, but for what they want to do and for him to have those options says a lot about what he showed at Illinois, the fact that he had that impact on winning. And we've talked about his record when he got inserted into the starting lineup. So happy for him, a guy that's going to be very educated when he's done with college. I mean, 2 degrees already. He's going to be 25 when his eligibility is up. But and the fit, I think, makes sense based on what Illinois is bringing in, based on what Duke needs in terms of a veteran. And it is kind of crazy, though. If we would have said at the outset of if Grandison and Curbelo are going to hit the portal, that Grandison ends up at a spot that's far more prolific or something like that. I think that would surprise people at the very forefront of the offseason.
I think it says a lot about Jake's game and just how he fits with so many teams, right? Like, I know Andre Curbelo had a rough year, but I do think he's still got some star potential if he can just stay healthy, unlock all of it. But there's a downside to having Andre Curbelo. There's really not a downside of having a Jacob Grandison. I think that says a lot about him. So Derek, is Illinois going to miss Jacob Grandison? I do think they missed him in the NCAA tournament, just having a shooter. I would think they just miss knowing exactly what they have out of somebody, because while I think the talent has gotten better on the wing, I think it says something about Illinois that they lose a Grandison and they don't blink an eye now, because you add somebody like Meyer and Shannon and RJ Melendez and Luke Goody should take steps forward. But I do think, you know, Illinois has got question marks of just how all these pieces fit and just how they perform at the highest level, while Jacob Grandison the last 2 years was a part of a lot of winning.
Yeah, you said it right there. Proven commodity. And Illinois on this roster currently doesn't have a ton of those, especially guys that have played in the Big Ten, guys that have played at Illinois. And I think that just having someone that is going to have chemistry with Coleman Hawkins, albeit they didn't play a ton together, but they do have some of that veteran leadership. I think that he could provide that a little bit. I know that Jake's a rather reserved guy, but definitely respected in that locker room when he was here. So that's something as well. And I do think one thing, if you're going to ask some questions about this roster, shooting is one that could potentially pop up. If you have freshman guards typically don't shoot high percentages. You have Danger that at the 5, if he's going to, him and Hawkins really, because Coleman Hawkins right now is a 28% three-point shooter. And then you go around the wing, and while RJ in a limited sample size shot it really well, Myers stepped back with his three-point percentage last year and at a higher volume. So maybe you will miss some of his perimeter shot making, but the style of play is going to be so different. The faster pace, the more athletic, more versatile defensively. I think that fits more with RJ, Coleman, Ty. And that's not a knock on Jake. I just think that the way they're going makes sense. And then to double down on some of these younger pieces, because you got to keep them happy if you want to keep them around.
All right, Derek, put you on the spot. Who averages more points per game next year, Curbelo or Grandison?
Oh man. Curbelo's probably gonna get a ton of usage at St. John's. So I think I could see Jake 8-9 points a game, shooting close to 40% from three, but I'm sure Curbelo's gonna get a ton of opportunities, and we'll see if the jump shot's any better, but I'll go with Curbelo.
Yeah, I think Grandison will have a lot more wins with the team he will be on next year. That's for sure. John Shire, man, you can have doubts about him, but don't have doubts about his recruiting ability, and getting a Grandison certainly makes a lot of sense. We'll cover the heck out of Illinois basketball at IlliniInquirer.com.